But he says, your dad certainly has. His output is just sad. Which is wrong to say. I mean, my God, Eddie Van Halen really made his mark in the industry. He's put out incredible amounts of guitar wizardry and albums. Even if he retired right now, no one should complain about that. But Wolf took the bait, Dave. He took the bait. And he said, right? What a horrible person my dad is. He brought joy to no one. 40 plus years in the business just isn't enough. He must only exist to give me things. How dare he have a life of his own? He deserves no breaks and constant hatred. Who's with me? And then he has a clown emoji. Now, someone has to tell Wolf that he should not be answering internet trolls. What do you think, Dave?
I think you should listen to his dad on that one. You know, when you're stuck at home all day with nothing to do, you gotta find some way to entertain yourself. I hear what that guy is saying. I mean, I wish Eddie would release more, but, you know, I mean, look, what are you going to do? It's Ed's life. He can do whatever the heck he wants. And, I mean, certainly right now, he's just hanging loose and, you know, enjoying life. I mean, you know, apparently he's got some health issues, so, you know, let the guy do what he wants. I mean, it's like it's some people have said, and I've read this, it's like, you know what? He doesn't owe us anything.
No, he doesn't. You know, and look, if he needs, Ed needs to do what he's got to do. I mean, we all want more because we're greedy fucks. But if he needs time to heal himself, that's fine. If he wants to retire, it's fine. If he doesn't want to even announce that he's retired, what are you going to do? I mean, he is what he is. He's a guitar legend. There's legends that have done 1/4 of what he's done and have such decorated pasts and reputations. But no one's going to wipe Ed away. And it's obviously clear when Eddie Trunk goes out and reaches out and says, who's your top guitarist of all time? And Eddie hasn't released an album in many, many years, and everybody is putting him to the top of the list. That says something. I mean, obviously he's a legend. So we just want him to be healthy and happy, and as long as he's okay, we're good. Now, interesting enough, despite the coronavirus, Dave, David Lee Roth has added more dates to his time with Kiss. He's supposed to, we don't know if it's going to happen, but he's supposed to do some European dates where he's going to go to Sweden and Finland and Spain and Italy with Kiss from June 25th to July 13th. And then, of course, he's going to do the leg with them in the United States from August 28th in Burgestown, PA to October 2nd in Fort Worth, Texas. But we shall see what's going to happen with that. We're also going to see what happens with his Vegas residency. Dave and I saw his last show there. He's supposed to go back in March. Obviously, that got rescheduled. But what do you think, Dave? You think we'll ever see him return to the stage in 2020?
I'm trying to think if I'm going to see anybody back on the stage in 2020. I know. He'll resume with Kiss one way or the other, I think so. Yeah. The Vegas, I mean, he'll squeeze some shows in there, I'm sure. He'll be back. I mean, he got good reviews. He was on a roll. He's got the itch. So, you know, keep on going while you can.
Absolutely. And Steve Vai, Dave, during the corona quarantine, has been on Facebook Live twice a week. He's going on there over an hour each time answering questions. So do yourself a favor and log on to his Facebook and check him out. He was also in Guitar World in a interview for an article, and he said that the guitar always felt magic to me. It was a gateway to my imagination. That was a takeaway quote from that. When asking about his time with Roth and Whitesnake, he says, I wouldn't trade those experiences for anything. But as I was going through it all, I saw how easy it was to get wrapped up in creating an identity for yourself from it. I'm a rock star. I'm playing arenas. I'm winning the polls. I'm making so much money. It is who I am. And I'm going to hold on to this forever. That always seemed like insane thinking to me. Now, did I enjoy it? Sure. But I also knew it wasn't what I was going to do all my life because the music I had in me had to come out. Otherwise, my career would be an epic fail. What do you make of that comment?
Not sure what to say about that. That's, I mean, epic fail. I mean, you know,
that's
interesting.
Heavy words. Heavy words. And wrapping up Van Halen news, a Alex Van Halen interview from 1981 was released from the Tapes Archive, and that is thetapesarchive.com. It is an interview with Mark Allen, and it's like 32 minutes long. You can check it out at thetapesarchive.com. It's also on the Van Halen news desk. You know, in there, Alex jokes around about all kinds of stuff. He talks about the brown M&Ms, and there's a quick little quippy thing. He says, the brown ones taste different. They contain more chocolate. The green ones and the yellow ones are much more refreshing. He's being a wise ass there, obviously. What do you make of Alex and his little quips, Dave?
He was just, say, towing the corporate line, but, you know, he wouldn't give a straight answer about the M&Ms, and he was like, yeah, you know, we just do what we want, and yada, 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 and it was just like all, like the cool rock star answers, you know? Hindsight's always 20/20, so in retrospect, you knew where he was coming from and what he was saying, but I wasn't all that impressed in the interview, maybe because, you know, I know what I know now, and I'm sitting there going, yeah, whatever, you're full of garbage. So
that's true.
I think knowing what I know now kind of taints me towards the interview. I mean, it was interesting to hear Al because you really don't hear him give a lot of interviews.
Right.
But it was just perpetuating the Van Halen myth.
Of course. Well, that wraps up Van Halen news.
And that's the way it is. Good night.
And we are on to our incredible full-length episode of Ted Templeman, A Platinum Producer's Life and Music, the new book by Greg Renoff and Ted Templeman. Dave and I do a deep dive discussion on this incredible tome. We focus on the Van Halen parts. God knows Ted Templeman has a big career, but his career is so big, the book is 400 and some odd pages long, but we focused on the Van Halen stuff. We discussed that in depth. We also do a very detailed interview with Greg Renoff where we comb over every little hair regarding Van Halen. But before we do that, we got some mailbag to get through. And that's all coming up next. Take a listen.
I gotta go, man. I gotta be active, gotta accomplish something. I don't know. Gotta be a shining example. I'm not sure of what, but we gotta go. And things were just starting to slow down with the band, It was just take time, take more time. I want to go in the studio for a year. The studio for a year? I can't stand the inside of the studio anyways from the beginning, Mess up my tan,
If you need a dose of VH, get a taste of the closest thing. Romeo Delight, the ultimate Van Halen tribute band, playing all the hits from the David Lee Roth era, first classic 6 albums, plus deep cuts, some of which have never been played live before by the band. They even throw in popular tracks from the Sammy Hagar era and solo hits. The most viewed Van Halen tribute band on YouTube, Romeo Delight, doing customized recreations of staging, instruments, and costumes from the classic Van Halen era. They even perform entire Van Halen albums in sequence. Romeo Delight plays theaters, casinos, summer indoor and outdoor festivals, and special events. They're also available for private parties. To contact them, call Bud Blanche at 215-704-5144. That's 215-704-5144. Or via email at sonicparade1@yahoo.com. Romeo Delight, the ultimate Van Halen tribute band.
This is Mrs. Money, and you're listening to Dave and Dave Unchained. Cheers, Marconi.
Need a laugh? Check out the Funny How Comedy Podcast, which focuses on upbeat conversations with legendary comedians. It's free on Spreaker and iTunes. Check us out on Facebook at Funny How Comedy Podcast, on Twitter at Funny How Podcast, on Instagram at Funny How Comedy Podcast, or email us at funnyhowcomedypodcast@gmail.com.
Everybody was starting to get married, and everybody was starting to get their girlfriends, and everybody was starting like this. We would come off the road, from the band. I'm always traveling, I'm always either on the road or I'm off in the jungle somewhere, or in the city, I'm always moving around. And I saw everybody doing it, so I didn't have a girlfriend. I thought, I'd give it a shot. So I did the MTV commercials for the Lost Weekend, And there were 2 girls sitting there, when we did the commercial. I looked over, and I'm right-handed, and I looked over and I said, "You're it?"
All right, Dave, you know what time it is.
It's time not to disappoint you with a apt introduction to the mailbag. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Welcome, my fans and friends. Welcome to another episode of Dave and Dave Unchained, the mailbag portion of the segment. We thank you for writing in, and we hope you are entertained with Dave's ever so quest as he continues to try and pronounce your names. And perhaps in another 52 episodes, he will attain that goal. But for now, we can only hope and pray that he at least gets through this podcast successfully.
Wow, you really worked on this one.
Well, I wasn't going to sing, so here I go.
All right. Well, that's right. Well, I'm impressed, and it is mailbag time again. And okay, well, we got a nice mailbag here, and we're going to start off with Liddell Wallace, who is from the Van Halen mailing list, Dave. With the old days of the Van Halen fans, the Van Halen mailing list.
Old school, baby. Wow.
Old school VH. And he says, I enjoyed the Balance anniversary episode, 5150. It was a nice break from all the virus talk on the other pods, and I must respectfully disagree about Strung Out and Not Enough. I think Strung Out is the perfect lead into Not Enough, and I like that song. I even enjoyed the Letterman performance. I bought the CD the day it came out, and as for Crossing Over, just as soon as the album started fading on me, I got the Japanese version, and Crossing Over renewed it for a bit. Balance is my favorite Sammy album, and it also is my first time meeting the band on that tour in Birmingham. I remember Scotty Ross's speech, no autographs, Ed wears rings on both hands, so don't shake his hand too hard, or else we're all out of a job, and don't hug Alex around the neck. Also in my meet and greet picture is a Warner Brothers guy that goes back to the beginning with Van Halen, Danny Davenport. Thanks for all you do, fellas. Liddell Wallace. Well, I tell you, Liddell, you really took me back with that Scotty Ross speech. Dave, do you remember that?
Oh, my God, he totally nailed it. That was Scotty Ross's speech verbatim.
Verbatim. That's right.
That's right. I explicitly remember Scotty saying, or I'm out of a job.
Exactly.
He told the same thing to us. That's so
It's
funny.
incredible. The guy had it down to a science. Well, in regards to Balance, hey, man, listen. Liddell, if you like Strung Out and Not Enough, more power to you. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's not a problem. My whole thing is, if you do like Strung Out, I would just like someone who likes it to explain to me what you like about it, because it's not very musical, and it's sort of the opposite of musical, because it's destroying an instrument. Not Enough is a great song. I'm just feeling like it's just so light for Van Halen. And the Letterman performance, I felt like, didn't have a lot of energy, and Van Halen without energy is sort of not Van Halen, so it was a little weird for me. I also felt like, I guess, Can't Stop Loving You and Not Enough just sort of misrepresented the Balance album. I mean, the Balance album has a lot of cool shit on there. And I think one of the big takeaways from that episode that we had last month was that go revisit the Balance album. There's more stuff there. The whole Balance album was written off with I Can't Stop Loving You, Not Enough, light poppy songs, and Wham Bam, Amsterdam. It was all written off with that, but way beyond those three things, okay? There's a lot of great work there. There's a lot of great stuff there. What do you think, Dave?
There are a lot of great deep cuts on that album.
Yep.
But Not Enough is just too generic for me.
Yeah, it's very
to be a
generic.
fan of.
Yeah.
And Strung Out, I've had
Yeah.
more than enough.
It strings me out. It strings me out, Dave.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, more power to you if you like it. That's
Right.
great, but I'm not one of those people.
Absolutely. On to letter number 2. Hi again, Dave and Dave. It's your college student listener writing in again. I hope you are both doing well. Quick question for you guys. I recently purchased a signed Eddie Van Halen 8x10 photo. It is my favorite piece of Van Halen memorabilia that I own, right alongside my Van Halen vinyl albums. I was curious, what are both of your favorite Van Halen items or memorabilia that are in your personal collections. And I'm sure you guys have some cool pieces. Thank you for all you do, and I look forward to your podcast each month and